We are
See, Dory, I
live.
think you're watching a recording. I'm on live, but you're watching a recording.
Don't do that. Join us live here. So, Vickie, what can they see us right now?
I am actually on my phone because we are on campus and we're in a computer lab and we don't have the Google Hangouts app on our computer, so I'm on my phone, but I think everybody can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, we'll do it from your phone. That's intrepid. Excellent. I'm going to introduce myself, and I'm going to invite some people from the national leadership team from this project to introduce themselves. And then we would love to hear about how things have been going at your task jam today. And I think we just sort of left this potential for this hangout to be mostly us answering questions or offering information about other things you'd like to know about. So we'll just leave it wide open. But we'll start with introduction. So I'm Tanya Baker. I direct national programs at the National Writing Project. It's in part because of me and the other members of the leadership team who you'll meet in a few minutes, and some other members of the leadership team who are on another hangout that's happening exactly the same time, that we got Vickie into this and she got you all into this. So in my job, I get to work with amazing teachers at writing projects around the country, and it's always so exciting. And today it's only 11 here, but I've been in the office since about 6:30 this morning, talking to teachers all around the United States who are basically having a day much like the day you're having. And it's been really fun to see people everywhere working up writing tasks together. So that's me. I'm going to turn it over to Amy, who will introduce herself. Amy, remember to speak up or close to your mic.
Okay. I am Amy Vujaklija, and currently I teach 11th and 12th grade, but I have taught 8th grade for 10 years, and that's where I got started with the Literacy Design Collaborative and the National Writing Project work, using the Literacy Design Collaborative test, and I'm just really excited that we're here together today.
And Maggie?
Hi, my name's Maggie Brewer. I work with the Eastern Kentucky University Writing Project, which is in Richmond, Kentucky, and I teach 10th grade World Civ and high school arts and humanities at Scott County High School in Georgetown, Kentucky. And I'm excited to see you all today, and I can't wait to see what you all have been working on.
So Vickie, introduce us to your day and your people.
This morning we did overview of LDC template tasks, all the thinking behind it. We spent a lot of time talking about misfires, what's worked and what hasn't worked in our classrooms. We had a brief lunch, and then we came upstairs to computer lab, where most people are either looking through the G+ community or working on their assignments planning guide. And we've just had great conversation about what's worked, what's not worked, where we need to be, and what we need to do to get our students where they need to be.
That's great. From the work you've done this morning, have you had any questions or parking lot items that you were hoping to talk to us about today?
Not any specific. I think everyone was just so grateful to have the task templates and the other materials that I gave them. There was a post of all of the tasks in one document that we got a lot of cheers for. And I think everybody's just kind of working through the G+ community. Several people have logged in. We did have an issue with people who were trying to join. It had them waiting to join for several minutes, and we didn't know if it was a site issue here on campus or if it had something to do with traffic on the community. But some people just kind of waited it out and were able to join, and others just opened a new tab and just dug right in.
That's great. So do you have anybody left who hasn't been able to get in?
I think there are a few, but we just kind of worked around that. They're just kind of exploring. Those that could not get in just kind of went through and explored the community, and then they went back to working on their planning guide.
Great. Would you ask the group if there's anything among the tools that you've been working with today that they think is going to be particularly helpful?
Okay, from your just going through the Assignment Matters G+ community, what do you see or what do you think is going to be most helpful after today, going back to your classrooms? The templates.
Uh-huh. And you were saying, Vickie, that they liked that one-page document with all the templates on one page?
They did. And when I photocopied it, I enlarged it, and I included an initial for each of the template task types. So,
nice.
You know, if you want to post it in your room, you have, I just put a little A for the first 10 for argument, and the I for the next 15 or so for informative, and then the 4 that were narrative. Because the shading, when I printed it just black and white, it was very difficult to distinguish. But they said that was really helpful. And then when I gave them a larger packet that had all of the template tasks, because we've just focused on argument today. But when I gave them the larger packet with all of the template tasks for informative and narrative, they thought that was really helpful as well.
I also appreciate the opportunity to look at the sample tasks and engage in discussion with my peers about whether they were effective or not. Just having that opportunity to engage in that discussion, I think, solidified some things in my mind that otherwise I wasn't quite certain of.
Okay, that was Dorothy Stewart. She's a TC. She teaches high school. She's a National Board Certified teacher, and she just said that she was appreciative of having the opportunity to collaborate with peers, to hear their opinions and their insight as we went through and analyzed assignments this morning.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank Dorothy for sharing that. That's come up a lot, both in the leadership team and in other people around the country this morning, that, you know, and I said when I started this work, I thought, whatever, anybody can write an assignment. And then when I began to really dig into assignments with peers and see how many had some kind of fatal flaw or were difficult to write to or were confusing, it really moved me to want to, you know, work together with other people in the way that Dorothy just described. So that's great.
And you know, I tried to make today about the teachers, you know, talking to each other, working with each other, learning from each other, building a base so you can go back to your school and say, okay, I did this planning guide, I have all my skills, I know my instruction, now I can use this as a model for the next unit or module that I'm planning.
It's both. I think it's the probably most important shared vision or shared value of the National Writing Project and the Literacy Design Collaborative, that really it's teachers doing their work together, not other people doing their work for them or telling them what to do.
Right, right.
Anything else we should know from the ground and Live Oak, Vickie?
I think we're just glad that everybody was here. I told them I was so thankful that they decided to give up part of their Saturday to come be a part of our tree family, as some of our friends refer to us. But does anyone have any more questions or comments? Getting no responses, so I think that's it.
You know what happens? I've noticed when people have done a lot of work and now they have work time, they don't want to be wasting that work time talking to us because they're so excited to dig in. So We're really thankful for you giving us a few minutes to tell us how things are there in Live Oak. We have one more question for you because it's been an ongoing question and concern around the country today, which is, what's the weather like?
Oh, it's very pretty outside, but I think it may be colder in our room than it is outside. We've been fighting the thermostat today.
You know what? It's always, when you do something at a school or university on a Saturday, somewhere there's going to be an inside weather report. Maggie is in a snowstorm. Amy, are you also in a snowstorm?
Well, the snow that was outside earlier has melted. It is entirely gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if we have snow, the world stops. We don't deal with snow. We get ice and everything shut down. So snow is just like the apocalypse here. We can't even deal with snow.
That has happened at several sites today. They've had apocalypse sort of response to snow. So we did have a few people who are rescheduled for next weekend. It's lovely here in Berkeley, California, but it's almost always the same. So I'm embarrassed really to report on the weather from here usually. But
yeah.
Thank you, Vickie, and thanks all the teachers. And please, everybody, get in that Google community and tell us about your day or share a writing prompt with us because we really want to see them.
Will do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Vickie.
Bye-bye.
Alexina, we can go ahead and shut this down. Stop recording.